Hello everyone. I'm going to show you a tool which will help you to generate user-friendly documents for your APIs. This tool is called API Documenter and it's totally free. I will first show you the document that I generated using the API Documenter tool, and then I'll show you how I made this using the API Documenter, and I will also explain all the other fantastic features that API Document has to offer, such as sharing documents with your colleagues and so on. So let's go through the document first and we'll see what are the features. The document that you are seeing on your screen now is a test document that I created for a company called Marvelous Store. So as you can see on the screen, this document has a title and an introduction which says what this what this document is all about, and such as what sort of information this document will cover. For an instance, this document will cover how we would talk to Marvelous Store to get the information about their products and categories and their amazing deals, and also this document will tell you that the main endpoint URL is this. And as you can already see on the screen, this document has two main categories. One is authentication and one is data. And if you look at the menu as well, you can see that it's categorized under authentication and data. So as you already aware, these days when you talk to an API, you would need to provide some sort of authentication, such as a token, before with the data calls where you will obtain those information. So before you actually fetch data, you need to get a token, authentication token for you. Then you can talk to those data APIs. So the first section, the authentication, will cover about those authentication endpoints, if you like, and the second section will discuss about what sort of data that this API will going to deliver. So for an instance, if I expand this get authentication token subsection, you will see a brief introduction about what this is, and the URL, the endpoint that you will need to call, and the request uh, method that says post, and these need to be passed, such as the accept application JSON, and the secret, which is the combination of user key and secret encrypted. So when you send this request to this API, and you will get this return if it's successful, as you can see here, or you will get this return if it's not successful. For instance, if the status code is 401. So this section will cover how you would get an authentication token, and also if you have an authentication token already, if you wish to renew that, this will talk about that. And this is the authentication section in this document, and in the data section you can see there are few categories under data, such as listing all products. So you list, if you like to list all products that Marvelous Store has to offer, you call this API endpoint and pass in these parameters, and this is the token that you obtain from the authentication API call, and the successful return would look like this, and if it's unsuccessful, it would return like this, and so on. And the good thing in here is you can actually straight copy the CURL for each section and run in the Postman. So I'm going to show you an example right now, so you know what I'm talking about. What you do is when you open up a subsection, you click the CURL button, and it says a message that the CURL has been copied to the clipboard. So what you need to do is open up your Postman, and I'm going to bring my Postman screen here, and you just go import, and go to raw text and just Control V, and that will paste this information that you copied from the tool to here, and you press continue and import, and that will be added to here. So all you need to do is give a valid secret here. So I'm going to copy a secret to this section, and I'm going to press send, and as you can see, the API already returned me a valid a token which I need to use in the subsequent sections. So I'll take another example. For instance, let's say list all products. So you copy this CURL, and you go to the Postman and open up a new tab, and you go import, and we go raw text and paste, and hit continue and import, and the token that you got here, it is here. It's here. You just copy this because you will need this token to call the data API, which I have just copied, and you just need to paste that token here, and then if you hit send, and you will see the results brings. And yeah, the good thing is, yeah, you can thread copy these API calls if you like to your Postman, and then you can see in action in real time. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to create this document using the API Documenter tool. To do that, first I'm going to log into the application, which is app.apidocumenter.com, and I'm going to key in my username and password and hit login. As you can see, as soon as you log in, you will see your documents, and this is the document that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to press edit button, and the edit, so this is the edit mode if you like in your document, and on the left hand side that's a place where you can fiddle with the syntax. You can, this is MSON, and on the right hand side you can see the HTML version of the document, which is the output that you saw earlier. So it is a real-time editor. You can change the content here, and this will get updated immediately, and you can preview this document, and this is what I showed you earlier. You can see the title is now changed to Super Marvelous Store, and if you like, you can change a logo or give a logo to your document. You just press the change logo button and select the image from your machine, and if you like, you can crop this image to suit your width and height, and then press crop, and then if you go here and refresh, and you will see that a logo is now updated. So it's just to give the document some sort of a customizing ability. So you can, if you have multiple documents, you can use logos which reflects your document or the customer that you're going to share this with. So when editing the document, you can um, hide the menu to give a much more a broader view to the edit screen, and you can toggle it back if you like. So this document, as you can see, is ticked as published, and it's not ticked as private. So what this means is, if it's published, and people can see it if someone has the URL of this document, which is this. And if it is not published, means they won't be able to see. As you can see, this is not ticked as private. It means this is public, so anyone with this URL will be able to access this document. And if it's private, then only a logged in user can access. However, this document, the owner of the document needs to give the right permission to that logged in user. So what I'm going to show you next is how you would give permission to share this document to a dedicated user. And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go to the access section of this document, where you will give access to a dedicated set of customers, if you like, and those customers has users attached to them. To make things a bit easier, I'm going to show you an image which shows you sort of the hierarchy this documenting tool works when it comes to sharing this document between people. So I'm going to bring up an image which shows you what I meant. So this tool, the document that I showed you earlier, is this in the top section. As you can see in this image, a document can be shared between one to many customers, if you like, and a customer can have more than one user accounts attached to them. So this is the sort of the document sharing hierarchy that is given in this API Documenter tool. So if you create a document and you can share with many customers, and a customer can have users. Imagine you want to create a document to be shared with a company called customer A. So that customer A will need to have these sort of users attached to the customer, so you can, so that when the user logs in of that customer A, will see your document in the in the shared document section, which I'm going to show you very soon. And this, I just want you to get the hang of it about the document sharing hierarchy. So now I'm going to show you how to share a document with a customer or with a dedicated user, if you like. As you have seen already now, and you're aware that this document can be shared shared with a customer, and that customer will have one to many users attached to them. So to do that, first you need to create a customer in the system. So it's easy. You need to head to My Customers on the left menu, and as you can see, there's currently no customers set up. And you press Add New Customer, and you give a name to your customer. So I'm just going to give Anjana's test customer and create, and that will get created. And I'm going to attach a user to that customer by going to My User section and pressing that Add New User button. And I created my customer before, so that comes up in the list. So I'm going to select that customer. If you have more than one customer, those customers will come in this drop down, and give that user a user that you want to share this with, and that person's email address, and press create. So this user is now attached to this customer called Anjana's test customer. So now I'm going back to the documents, and I'm going to click on the access button, and I'm going to click the set up new access button to set up access to the test customer account that I created earlier. So I'm going to press this and select the customer, and this is the customer, and I'm going to take view. So what this means is all the users belongs to this customer will now have access to that Super Marvelous store and create. All right, so I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to show you, I'm going to log in as this user, which I have another account, and show you that this document which I shared with that customer will get appear in this shared with this section. So I'm going to log out here, and I'm going to log in as that other customer, and I'm going to key in my password. And if you go to shared with me section, you see now that Super Mario Store is available for this customer, this user, and it's published, and you can preview. And this is how you share a document with a dedicated user, a dedicated set of users by assigning a document to a customer. I hope now you understand how to share a document with a dedicated customer. So if you wonder how to create a new document, it's not difficult at all. All you need to do is go to this add new press this add new button, and on this form give your API document a meaningful name, such as watch store, an API for a watch company, and you select your customer. I have created this customer before, and so I'm going to create that. In the real world, you will see your live customers appearing in this list. So you pick one of those customers, and if you tick this is private, then a user needs to be logged in order to see your document. So you can't public user, public body cannot use this view this document. And if it's published, if you tick publish, it will be ready to be viewed. And I'm going to make it private, and I'm not going to check it's published now because I'm just creating the document, so I'm not ready yet. And then you have the option whether the tool to populate some test data or not. So I'm going to populate some test data in this watch store, and I'm going to press the create button. So as you can see, that has appeared now in the list. And if you go to edit, and you will see now some test data has been appeared here. And also, if you know MSON and you like to create a document without having the test data, of course you can create a new document without checking this button, checking this checkbox. And if you're new to MSON and if you wish to learn, you can click on this link, and this will take you to their website where you can learn more about the syntax that we use through this API Documenter tool. So I hope you enjoyed this introductory video about API Documenter and how to generate a documenting for your API using MSON. And if you have suggestions and feedback, and if you have any questions, you can always uh, tweet to me, and I will put my Twitter handle and as well as the API Documenter's Twitter handle where you can tweet to and get more information about it. And if you have suggestions, there's a link here which will take you to a form where you can tell what you feel, what you think about the tool. And I hope you will use this tool and you will enjoy this tool. And please let me or the API Documenter Twitter handle know that if you have any questions. And I hope to see you soon again. Until then, bye bye.